What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be talking about the drivers that are currently on the playoff bubble, as we only have one race remaining for the NASCAR playoffs. We have Daytona coming up. On the screen right now, you can actually see the current standings as we head to Daytona International Speedway. We're going to go ahead and analyze all the drivers that are remaining in the playoff run. To start off, we're going to look at Clint Bowyer. Clint Bowyer currently sits 57 points above the cut line. He currently has this year 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s in the 2020 season. If it wasn't really for all the stage points, Clint Bowyer would really not be in the conversation to be in the playoffs, but he's collected so many stage points this year that have really helped him out. He's had also a couple really strong races recently, including having a really strong run in race 1 at Dover in the doubleheader. In my honest opinion, Clint Bowyer pretty much only needs to start Daytona. He is guaranteed to be probably locked in. I'm surprised he's not been locked in. But again, anything can happen. He pretty much just needs to start the race at Daytona International Speedway. Up next is Matt DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto currently sits 9 points above the cut line, and he currently this year has 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s in the 2020 season. So very similar numbers to Clint Bowyer. DiBenedetto, to be honest with you, has been kind of falling off a cliff. Going into Michigan, he had such actually going into the Daytona weekend, he had like a 50-point cutoff, a 50-point buffer over 17th place at the time, which was Erik Jones. Now he's only 9 points above the cut line. The last 3 races have just been, he's been collapsing. I mean, I thought Matt DiBenedetto was for sure going to be locked into the playoffs. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm afraid DiBenedetto isn't going to be making the playoffs, and that team probably isn't sleeping in the best position right now because it's Daytona and you don't have all your eggs in one basket. I really think that's another thing, is that DiBenedetto, if he does not make the playoffs this year, there could be a really good chance that Wood Brothers might get rid of him and put Cindric in the car. That is very possible. We'll have to see, though, what happens there. But DiBenedetto sits 9 points above the cut line. Man, they better have a good run at Daytona. Up next, William Byron. William Byron currently has 4 points above the cut line. He currently has 1 top 5 this year and 8 top 10s in 2020. 8 top 10s, not too bad to be honest with you, but look at that top 5 number. He got his first top 5 finish yesterday in the second Dover double. William Byron has kind of had a disappointing year, if I'm going to be real with you guys. Yes, he's had a couple races where he's been good, except the first Dover doubleheader race where he basically collapsed and was finished 28th. That was terrible. But they rebounded yesterday and got a top 5, and they pretty much ran top 5 all race long. William Byron had a really, really, really strong day yesterday, and I thought he was going to have a shot maybe even to win the race. Just kidding. Kevin Harvick had the best car. But William Byron, he needs to hopefully not screw up at Daytona. He really needs to make sure he picks up points, more points than Jimmie Johnson, since he's most likely going to be starting ahead of Jimmie Johnson at Daytona. But we'll see what William Byron does. And William Byron sits 4 points above the cut line. Up next, we got Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie Johnson made huge strides at Dover this week, and he gained a ton of points on the cutoff line. In race 1, he went from 25 points below the cutoff line to being 3 points above. He did lose 7 points yesterday. The fact that Jimmie Johnson is only 4 points below the cutoff line, that is huge for Jimmie. He has a really good shot to make the playoffs. And I just got to say, Jimmie just this year kind of, if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's going to get screwed, to be honest with you. Jimmie would honestly, if it wasn't for, missing Indianapolis because of COVID and getting disqualified at Charlotte, Jimmie would probably be 30 to 40 points above the cut line. I mean, he wouldn't be completely locked in, but he would be in a much better position. He wouldn't really have to worry as much about Daytona as he would now. Jimmie pretty much just has to survive. He has to contend. Hopefully, Jimmie does really well at Daytona and contends with William Byron. And finally, on the playoff cutoff line, we're going to talk about Erik Jones. Erik Jones is 50 points below the cutoff line currently at the moment. He has 5 top 5s and 8 top 10s. He's just really, in my opinion, out on points, if I'm going to be real with you guys. 50 points for the cutoff line. He pretty much has to have William Byron have a catastrophic day, and hope that Jimmie Johnson also have a catastrophic day for him to have a really good chance to go up there and contend. But Erik Jones is pretty much in a must-win situation, as well as a bunch of guys who are below the cutoff line. So anyway, yeah, those are the drivers that are currently in. Now to tell you who I think is going to make it into this year's NASCAR 2020 playoffs. Honestly, I really am going to be real with y'all. I'm just going to say this. Matt DiBenedetto, well, I think that he is on the down. While I think that he has had a pretty good year this year, I unfortunately do not believe Matt DiBenedetto because of his recent streak of just having a lot of bad runs and his history at Daytona International Speedway, and as much as he's been falling off a cliff. I think Jimmie Johnson and William Byron are going to get ahead of DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto has just been falling like a rock, and I don't trust DiBenedetto anymore. I had him making the playoffs for sure this year and even winning a race, and DiBenedetto still is winless up to this point in 2020. And you got to think about this too. What if someone below this cutoff line goes out and win? We're at Daytona, right? Watch out for Erik Jones to contend for a win. He's won here before in the past. One guy that everyone's really got their eye on for this weekend's race at Daytona International Speedway is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. currently is like 300 points below the cutoff line, so he pretty much has to win Daytona. He's known to make a lot of desperate moves. I'm going to be watching for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to be getting really, really desperate, because to be honest with you, I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to be one of the guys to beat in this race, if not the guy to beat. We're going to have picks coming up here on this channel really, really, really soon. We'll talk about what I think about the race, but also talk a little more about this as well. William Byron, talk about him. He's been kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. Not going to lie. Anyway, that is going to be it for the playoff bubble video of today for me analyzing this year's 2020 playoff bubble. Apologize for the video not being as good. I kind of not feeling the best, not going to lie. But that is going to be it for today's video, analyzing the playoff bubble and making my predictions of who's going to make the playoffs and who is not going to make the playoffs in the 2020 season. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Link description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. Who do you think is going to make the playoffs? Do you think Matt DiBenedetto will be able to hold on? Or do you think that William Byron and Jimmie Johnson will be able to overshadow? Or do you think someone that is below the playoff cutoff line, especially since we are going to Daytona this weekend, do you think someone has a really good shot of beating those guys? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.